this movement called Fauvism was over a very short period. So it will be a short presentation, and partly because I don't know that much about it. But what I do know is there's a real emphasis on the colour, on bold, bold colours, and colours used to sort of convey emotion as well. And what they were aiming to do was to simplify and sort of move some of the detail from it. And they were also well known for their very wild brush strokes.
Oh, I want some of that.
It's sounding good.
Yes.
It's sounding good.
In good way, we'll come back to that later. But they also wanted to combine different styles. Well, if you look at the dates when they were sort of operating, you know, it's sort of post-impressionism. Yeah. So some of it comes out as well. They were, it's called Fauvism, is because some of this work was so bold when it was exhibited that some of the critics were a bit disparaging. And one of the critics called them, the exhibitors, faux, which in French means wasps. So that's where it got its name. Now, of course, two sort of main founding artists were Lost sound.
Mary, are you all right?
Is she frozen?
Yeah, I think Mary's iPad's frozen.
She'll get the recording then.
Yeah, okay.
Just carry on.
So it was Henri Matisse, which I mean is a famous artist, and Andre Derain. And there you can see examples of some of the followers, but there weren't many that were sort of within this this movement. Now, the first one I'm going to show you is one by Raoul Dufy.
Oh, Dufy.
Oh, you know Dufy?
Only by a very odd, quirky thing. I was on an art course and somebody wasn't very happy with her picture. And the tutor said, but it's so doofy. I have no idea what it meant, but she was pleased. So, you know. Oh, well, so he painted like this. Good.
Yeah. So the reason I chose Dufy as an example was because he was my introduction into Fauvism. He was born at Le Havre, you know, in Normandy. And I went to an exhibition. The gallery there, and there's quite a lot of his work there, and I was just, you know, when you see these paintings, it's just look at me, you can't but look at them.
And so would that, what sort of size, because you know sometimes you go into a gallery and you're expecting something huge and you see something really small.
No, most of the ones I saw were quite small. Yeah,
quite small, so manageable on an easel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
that's one of the artists, but I'm going to concentrate on Matisse because I think he sort of illustrates well the movement from the sort of traditional styles into Fauvism. And I mean, this is a very famous one, isn't it? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, strangely, I recognise the shape and the features and the hat, but not the colours.
Of course, I can't guarantee the colours. I mean, I've got these pictures from Wikipedia. So I mean, you can't guarantee anything on the internet. You can't guarantee colours, can you? But they will be bold, I guarantee.
Yeah, very bold, right?
And there's not much detail there in the face, is there? It's very simplified. But maybe emotions coming out in the colours. So Matisse did this in 1905, and that was the period of the Fauvism. Now, if you have a look at the next one.
Oh,
Darling.
It's so
I had to put that.
That's so Fauvism you did.
That was really weird, looking up and thinking, well.
Well, it was when I saw the previous, you know, the woman with the hat, and I thought, oh yes, I remember that I really did one like this, you know. And when I did it, I thought, yeah, you've got bold colours there. You've also used different styles, haven't you?
Yeah, brought in loads of
You've done a sort of cut and paste job and things like that, and those bold colours in the face. And I think there was another one which was even bluer.
Yeah.
You know, I think this one would hold up quite nicely against the Matisse.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Matisse was heavily influenced by John Russell, the Australian painter. He became friends with him when he was in his 20s. And John Russell was the one who taught him about colour theory, which is interesting. I thought, well, obviously you didn't do it at art school.
No.
So, and of course, and through John Russell's friends with Van Gogh, and Russell gave Matisse a painting by Van Gogh, and he was mesmerised by it. And I don't think he'd ever seen a Van Gogh before, because, you know, I mean, he just didn't sell any paintings, did he?
Yeah.
And the whole group loved Gauguin's work as well.
And it's all that shape and flow and things that the Van Gogh's got that wouldn't have been there previously, isn't it?
No, not in that way, would it? This is post-impressionism.
Yeah. Yes.
So they were the influences on Matisse. But when you see his early work,
quite different.
So he was 25 here. And he was quite late going to art school, because he was studying law at first, and disappointing his father by then switching to art. But it seems to me, when you read about artists, it was often the case in those days. You know, they were disappointed when their sons became artists.
Yes.
I suppose they thought they wouldn't make any money.
I'm not sure if that's changed so much these days, has it, Lydia? Do parents rather you be a doctor or an artist, I wonder?
Yeah, definitely. But now, if you look at, I can't see it because I've got people in my view. If you look at his later one, 1901, so he's starting to add a bit more colour and a bit, more definition, less definition.
Sort of more contrasty, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that one on the left, it's really sombre, isn't it?
Muted, yeah.
Yeah, very little colour in that one. Now, this is,
oh, I like that.
That's one of his early still lifes. And he's got loads of colour in this, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's not bold colour yet. It gets bolder.
Yeah. So I was looking at his brush stroke there. You know, I was thinking, I don't know, with the ponteli, you know, it looks like all lots of little strokes, doesn't it? On the tablecloth at least.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. And I suppose that's what they said about the wild brushstroke.
The beast's brushstroke. I like the beasts.
And did you know that the French term for life was nature morte? Nature morte. So dead nature. It's a bit strange, odd.
Why is it dead?
Well,
they look quite live. They're fresh fruit, aren't they? Well, they're off the tree, I suppose.
I suppose that's what it means, isn't it?
It's because it's not in its natural. It's put there rather than, you know, growing on the tree or whatever.
Not natural, yeah. In a different surroundings, I see. Yeah.
So later one. So a few years later, 5 years later, he's added a bit more colour. And you know, the apples and things, they're just sort of blobs now, aren't they? Blobs of colour.
Yeah, you can still tell what they are, but they are just two colour. Yeah.
It's interesting, as Lydia said, the apples and the bananas, we didn't have, you know, we knew exactly where to look. It was like, I wasn't thinking of them as blobs of colour, I was thinking of them as fruit. And then you realise they're just a blob.
Yeah.
That's right. I think, and the colours are so vivid, and they did use a lot of the primary colours as well.
Yeah, particular representations, the bluey, it's a very bluey purple. I know what you said, Lydia, about, you know, we don't know what the colour is, but there's a lovely bluey purple on my screen that when I'm looking at them.
Yes.
Nice.
And I think blue was a very popular colour with them as well. See lots of paintings.
And I love the background in this as well, because it could be anything, but it looks really interesting.
And it's quite different, almost, you know, because the foreground's got all that colour, it's almost two different paintings in style, isn't it? For what's happening in the background.
Busy and not so busy.
That's using different styles within the same painting. They were up for that. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Do you recognise this one as well?
Eileen didn't do that one, did she?
No.
But she couldn't. She's so talented. It seems to me Matisse here has used every colour under the rainbow and more as well.
Oh, this is a Matisse as well, is it? Wow.
Yeah, they're all Matisse.
Oh, I wouldn't have recognised that as a Matisse.
And so he's used pointillism here, hasn't he?
Yeah. And I like the way he's grouped his colours. So that you get that
really
the transitions.
Vivid. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yes.
Interesting tree. It looks upside down. Oh, I like this one.
Oh, I love this one. That's why I included it. I think it's just beautiful. You can imagine this is down near Saint-Tropez, I think. Oh no, it's not. No, it's over by Nice, I think. And you can, I mean, down there the light is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the colours seem more vivid, and I think that's gorgeous.
Yeah, you could watch that.
This one look. Sorry.
I'd like to paint that one. I might do that this afternoon, actually.
It's got the feeling of more, it could potentially be a collage. You know, the shapes are defined. You could almost do that with squares of paper and stuff, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And we have done in the past.
And it's also interesting. It's gone from really small dots in the previous one to bigger oblongs or bigger, but still distinct brush strokes. Yeah, like building blocks at the back in the sea.
Yeah, yes.
It reminds me of the one Megan did of the pink. I can't remember one of our early days. Megan had all the little squares, like blocks. Yes, the bridge, the Venice Bridge.
Yeah. You could do it in embroidery too. It looks like that sort of thing.
Right, let's move on then. Don't spend too long on it.
I've seen these.
Yes.
These are the first ones I've seen.
Still Matisse, right?
Kevin's got it on his wall, the red one, I think.
Oh, really?
They're nice.
He did a whole series of these over 2 or 3 years, I think, and you can see how he's been playing around with the colour there, hasn't he?
They're so lively, aren't they? They're so dancey.
Didn't he do them after a trip somewhere where there were dancers? I can't think. I'm thinking Africa, but the colours are wrong. But that doesn't necessarily follow anyway.
No. But look how little detail there is in the actual body.
People, yeah.
And yet we've got the feeling of movement, haven't we?
Yeah.
And he doesn't use much in the way of shading.
That's quite interesting. In the red one, are there 2 people who could be men, and they're all women in the one with the pinker flesh? I was thinking the person on the left and the person back right might have been men. In the red
he's
one.
taken the breast out, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called getting your rubber out, your eraser.
That's got all sorts of connotations, Eileen.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
About all sorts of bits. Okay, so playing with colour there. And then this is my last slide.
Wow.
And that's so vibrant, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
And that's so different.
He's sort of separated out all the elements, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There's no yeah.
I thought that was a Gauguin in the top right-hand corner. Interesting to see the things
like
picked out.
Yeah, could be.
Is it like his studio or something? Atelier Rouge. Is it his red studio or something?
Red, it's a red workshop studio. Yeah.
And I don't know what that one is at the bottom right. That squirrely thing. A hat or a baseball glove?
It looks like a hat.
A hat. But it's a very
upside down hat.
It's a very intriguing picture, and there's so much detail because once you've got used to it, your eye keeps bouncing around like the plate with the octopus or whatever it is. They do make me want to go and look at them.
They make me want to tidy up. And the wine glass is empty, is it?
Yeah.
Well, he's had a good afternoon's work then. There.
That's quite different. Excellent.
That is different, yeah. And I wonder how he got though. You know, like the chair edge and the maybe drawers or something in the back of the table edge. Whether he's put the paint on and then scraped those out because they're so precise.
Could be, could be.
They're so precise, aren't they? They're very fine.
And I think it is one of the, I'm always struggling with the straight white lines. It is one of the way to get a nice white line is to scrape off your paint.
Yeah, that's good.
But you could only do that with oils, couldn't you?
Well, or very much quicker with the, with acrylic if you did it really quickly before it dried.
Immediately.
And with watercolor, you can use the tip of a really fine craft knife.
Oh yes, I've done that. Yeah, when you make a mistake, you can scrape it out when you've got a blob on it.
Yeah. Or for a straight line, you can just go straight down and rub it a little bit, and you just get the white line comes out. And it has cut the paper, so people debate whether that's good or not, but I haven't done that. I've done it for waves, you know, flicking the tops of the waves, but that's about it. Anyway, Matisse did it possibly on that one.
I think the chair looks like a Van Gogh chair.
Yeah.
It's more true perspective. Well, no, it is a bit of a weird perspective because Van Gogh's always look so very odd. One side of this is in perspective, the other side isn't. So yeah.
That was the glass of wine side, right?
Anyway, so the movement didn't last for long, but I think it had a long-standing effect, didn't it, on the art world generally for the 20th century.
Yeah.
When I first started painting about 10 years ago or so, I never painted anything in colour really. Everything was very bland, and it's only since I've joined you as a group that you've encouraged me to use colour. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take an old painting of mine, which is very bland, and I'm going to repeat it with lots of colour.
Brilliant.
Good, brilliant. Style. Strokes and all sorts.
Excellent. And Lydia, my system crashed when you were kindly answering my question. We're talking mostly oils in what you've presented here to us today.
Yes, I think they were. Yes, I haven't seen any that were obviously watercolour.
Yeah. Excellent. Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, Lydia, yesterday when you were I was looking this up because I was interested. There are actually some very amazing flowers in there. How do you say this? The style?
Fauvism.
Yeah. So I looked up on the internet. Rita, can I share from O?
Yeah, it should be enabling you. If I don't know if
it's
Lydia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So have you done that now?
Oh wow, I like the poinsettia up there. Nice.
Yes,
I like that.
And Elizabeth was showing us her. Was it Elizabeth? I missed what you were showing us. Elizabeth. Was it your companion picture?
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, it was just I looked up yesterday and I saw these and I thought, wow. Right.
So where do these come from, Francis?
It was literally just did an internet search on Fauvism, and
I see. Okay.
Basically a lot came up. Matisse came up obviously, and stuff come up, but it was just I saw these and thought, wow. So today, guess what I'm going to be painting?
I'm going to try one
flowers.
Right, I can unshare now. Stop sharing. There we go.
Liz, can we see what you were showing earlier on?
Yeah, I have to get it. It's
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Brilliant.
Hang on a minute. There's something gone wrong. Hang on. It's closed because I've moved it. I've touched the trying to close it thing.
Yeah. Is that one of Matisse's?
Yeah, so we know the one, the dance.
Yeah.
The first one of them, they were commissioned by somebody for the Hermitage in Russia.
Yeah.
And they're actually two pieces. This is the companion. And it's called
And there's
Music.
Gentleman.
Yeah, it's called Music, but only two of them appear to actually be playing anything. So if you put Music Matisse, you'll get it.
Music Matisse.
Yeah.
Very good.
Amazing.
Well, I think we're all excited. Well, I'm certainly excited about the colour.
Yes, thank you, Lydia.
Yes, thank you.
Well, who's going to do next week?
That was a quick start.
You've got an hour or so to think about it.
Very good.
That'll have us quaking in our boots.